This is TWiT. It's not the first time Microsoft laid off people.
No.
No.
So is this a remarkable...
2009. Yeah, 2009 was the last big one. They laid off 5,800 people that year in the midst of the recession. And a lot of the people, they found jobs, other jobs inside the company. So there was a difference between the headcount total reduction and actually how many people left. But yeah, I think this is going to be something, well, the predictions are this could be something even somewhat bigger than that. So it could be more than 5,000 people.
Wow. That would be the largest layoff in history at Microsoft. Easily.
It would be.
But, you know, again, remember, they just picked up 25,000 additional employees.
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be some redundancy there.
Right.
Here's,
so
I'd like to
now
run.
They have 125,000 people who work at Microsoft.
Yeah. You could 5,000 is not even 1%. Wait a minute, that's not right.
I can't do that kind of math in my head.
It's not even 5%. I'm sorry. Let me just as a game, as an exercise, read you. So Gassé wrote the letter that he thought Nadella should have sent out. And now, again, Gassé is not a Microsoft expert, but he's a former executive.
Okay. Did you read this Gassé thing?
No, I never read.
Let me read you. Well, I don't want to poison your mind, Mary Jo. If you prefer, I don't read it out loud. I won't. He says, this is what we should have heard from Nadella. This is the beginning of our new fiscal year 2015. That's correct, July 22nd. The quarterly results for the final quarter come out. And of a new era at Microsoft. I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is the old devices and services mantra won't work. By the way, not so old. Steve Ballmer created that just a year ago.
By the way, I would also point out that when you say devices and services, and then you say mobile first, cloud first, you just said the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe if you're not going to do phones and Xboxes, there's no devices in that. You could do mobile first, cloud first without actually making hardware. Couldn't you?
Fair enough.
You could.
Okay.
For example, he says, this is Gassé channeling Satya Nadella. I've determined we'll never make money in tablets or smartphones. Which is
I'm sure
true.
was going to say that.
Maybe. I don't think he'll ever say that, but it might be accurate. So, do we continue to pretend we're all in, or do we face reality and make the painful decision to pull out so we can use our resources, including our integrity, to fight winnable battles? With the support of the Microsoft board, I've chosen the latter. Does that, I'm not going to continue, but does that...
Good.
Oh, Mary Jo!
I don't think anybody should be listening to Jean-Louis Gassé about Microsoft, period. The guy doesn't know anything about Microsoft. That's
true. That's absolutely true. And I agree with you. But
Mary Jo has that very outspoken.
Is there anything wrong with what he just, that paragraph?
Really
is that not what Satya Nadella is at a very high level communicating?
No, he's absolutely not saying that, right? So, in fact, if you look at his letter, he explicitly calls out a number of products, but a few products that stood out were Xbox, which has nothing to do with Microsoft's new productivity focus, and Windows Phone, which he said he was dedicated to doing. And I think today, you know, you could make the argument that Windows Phone is sort of Windows now, you know, where maybe it wasn't originally. Going forward, certainly it is always going to be Windows. And Windows is obviously a big focus for Microsoft, and they look at Windows sort of holistically. You know, it's Windows on a phone, Windows on a tablet, Windows on a hybrid, Windows on a PC, Windows on a giant screen, you know, Windows sort of in your living room with Xbox. I mean, it's Windows. So I really don't see them. I don't see them backing away from it, but more to the point, I don't see that he just indicated that he would say that either.
Yeah, and in fact, in the email, he also talked about the purpose of first-party hardware. So that would be Windows Phone, and that would be Surface. And the purpose of it, he basically said, is to light up what makes Microsoft differentiated from the competition. So he definitely did not indicate to me that he's going to dump Windows Phone or dump Surface. Not even like just a thinly veiled not saying. He said they're not going to do it, as far as I can read into that.
I think he even said that later. Didn't he kind of say, just to clarify, I'm not dumping those? Well,
and they literally just signed on more Windows Phone hardware makers in the past couple of months than they have the previous 4 years combined.